Alright guys, one of the things I want to do today is I want to introduce you guys to one of my favorite summertime greens, and that would be lamb's quarter. And I will show you guys how I like to prepare that, one of my favorite ways to eat it and enjoy it. Be right back with you. We're going to see if we can find us a little bit. Okay, lamb's quarter, the genus of lamb's quarter is Chenopodium. I think what we have growing around here is Chenopodium album, and like I said, it's just one of my favorite summer greens. It tastes great. It's great to put in things. It's basically a wild spinach, but it's something that most people have around their property, around their yards, because Chenopodium album likes to live where people live. Anywhere the soil's been disturbed, wherever man's been. That's why you get it a lot of times in gardens, get in flower beds and things like that. Now you go off the property here, anywhere, and I can't find a single leaf, not one single plant of lamb's quarter. But here on the property, where we walk, where we mow, anywhere there have been outbuildings, anywhere people have been, it grows all over the place. We did just mow the yard. A lot of the younger plants were knocked down, but I think I can still find a few, and I could probably find enough to make me a little bit of a lunch out of some of it, and we're going to do that right now. Alright guys, here we have an example of a young lamb's quarter. It's also called goosefoot because of the shape of the leaves. Speaking of geese, you hear them in the background. See how the plant has this ashy color in the center of it? That's like it's a powder coating that gives them this ashy coloration right in the center. You can see that there. And the smooth leaves, you guys look around a little bit and you'll find this stuff all over the place. But this is lamb's quarter. It's one of my favorite wild greens. You use it just like you use spinach, kale, or anything else. We're going to try to find some more of this, and I'm going to make me some lunch. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but right here in the middle of this lamb's quarter, there is a drop of water. Looks like a piece of glass or a diamond sitting in the center of this plant. You might be able to see it down in there. Not really sure. A little bit of sparkle right in there. This plant is water repellent. You might be able to see that. I just thought it was a kind of a neat characteristic of this genus that these plants do that. Anything that's a Chenopodium, that's goosefoot, they all have water repellent properties like this. And it's not just the center, that ashy gray color, but the leaves, anywhere on the leaf or anywhere on the plant also repels water. So these are always the first things that are dry. And I'll let you see that here in a minute. I'll get a little closer, get up to my shelter here, and I'll show you. Well, there's one thing for sure. They don't get any fresher than that. Come here, girl. Nice. Stubborn. She doesn't want to move. This is her preferred bucket. Left to right. Bucket 1, 2, 3, and 4. Everything likes 3. It's no different than any other bucket, but they sure seem to think so. Anyhow, we've got our nice fresh eggs. Now, on to the next step. Alright, now that I've got my lamb's quarter back here to my preparation area, I'm going to take these and process them. I'm going to take each leaf off of the stem one at a time, and they are going to get sauteed in hot canola oil, some green onion, sweet Vidalia onion, and a little bit of dried jalapeno pepper from last year. Alright, as you can see, I've got my lamb's quarter cleaned up nice. Didn't make a whole lot, and that's going to cook down to virtually nothing. But it'll be a good enough batch to let you guys see what I'm doing here. Now, I picked these all these leaves off one at a time, just to make sure that all I get is a lamb's quarter, that nothing else goes in there, and I can be selective about what quality of leaf I want. So we're going to get these cleaned up a little bit. See how the water beads off? That's what I was telling you lamb's quarter does. Water actually beads on this plant. That's another way you can identify that it is indeed lamb's quarter. There are several methods which, you know, I can talk about in future videos, and I plan to do that. But yeah, that little bit of beading right there, that's what I was wanting to show you. How that water just sits right there on top. You always see it in the middle of the rosette, right in the center of the leaves in that gray. You always see a drop of water. It's like little diamonds, like every plant is decorated with a diamond. Okay, we'll get this washed up. I'll drain these off, and we'll get them cooking. See, look right there. Little caterpillar. This is why we process the way we do. Now I'll get him out of there and turn him loose. Then we'll get to cooking. Alright, now that we've got our lamb's quarter cleaned and we have it drained, we're going to throw this on some heat here. Let me add a little bit of canola oil here first. A little bit of canola oil in there. Alright, to this, I'm going to toss in a little green onion, and I decided on some white onion. We'll do white onion. Can't have too many onions, so throw them all in. Diced mushroom. Diced honey ham. And I told you wrong earlier. The jalapenos that I'm adding here are actually, I think, from 3 years ago. Alright. A little bit of dehydrated jalapeno. Now, when we did these peppers, they're just taken right out of the garden. The stems are cut off. That's it. They went from stems removed directly to a Ninja and we're basically chopped into almost a salsa type consistency and spread out on fruit leather trays and dehydrated. And this is how we use our surplus jalapeno. But we're going to get this cooked down, and that'll make that lamb's quarter get tender, and it will wilt it, and it will be more like a spinach at that time. And then when it gets to that point, we're going to add those fresh eggs, a couple of them directly from the hen house, and we will top it off with a little bit of cheddar cheese. Now, I don't use salt on my food normally. There are very few things that I salt, so we're not going to do that. But I'll get that cooked up for you. I figure between the jalapenos and the onions and the mushrooms and everything that's in here, I shouldn't need salt. There's going to be plenty of flavor. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, now, see how the lamb's quarter is starting to cook down? Man, I wish you could be here to smell this, guys. This is incredible. And one of my very favorite ways to do this. Also, I make lamb's quarter quiche that is really, really good. And I have never tried it, but I would imagine that another good use would be a lamb's quarter pesto. That is also on the list of things for me to try. But I'm going to continue to let this cook down. The only thing I wish I had that I don't have in here at the moment is a little bit of tomato, but this will be great. I'm going to let this cook down a little more, get it a little closer to where we're going to add our egg. All right, got my eggs beat. Eggs are going in with the veggies. And just a little bit, we'll have an incredible breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime you want to have it. This is a perfect snack. I just love lamb's quarter done in this way, especially with farm fresh eggs. It's just amazing. Later in the summer, a lot of the vegetables and stuff, the onions and everything else, will come directly out of the garden, which will make it even better. But we'll get this cooked up and take a look at our finished product. All right, about to the stage where it's getting ready to be time to eat. So we're gonna pull our meal off the fire here. Shut off this camp stove. Looking pretty good. And then we're gonna top that with some of this shredded cheddar cheese. Yeah, some people might throw a little bit of salsa on top of this. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Some Tabasco. But this right here now, this is a breakfast. This is my favorite way to incorporate lamb's quarters into my diet. Like I said, they're a wonderful summer, early spring green. Now, summertime the plants get really big, and the adult leaves get large, dark green, and they're tough. But if you are careful about picking younger, smaller leaves, you can enjoy these year-round. And even the larger leaves can be enjoyed too. They just may take a little more cook time to get tender. Man, that's beautiful. Alright, got everything picked up, straightened up. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that everybody that likes spinach may enjoy lamb's quarter. Lamb's quarter is really mild, doesn't have a very strong flavor. It can be eaten cooked or it can be eaten raw. But overall, it's just one of my favorite wild natural greens. You know, there's mustards and there's collards and there's turnip greens. Lamb's quarter is just, it's wonderful stuff. It's excellent stuff. You use it the same way you would use spinach or kale or chard or any other green. I really enjoy this stuff. I found out about it, I guess, I don't know, it's probably been a decade ago or so, but I really didn't start eating it a whole lot until maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And we made a lamb's quarter quiche one time for a potluck dinner, and it was a phenomenal hit. Everybody just loved it. And honestly, been eating it ever since. But it's just like, it's the same consistency, the same texture and everything. It gives it the same flavor. It's no different than if I went to the store and bought baby spinach and had put that in here to saute in its place. It's exactly the same. That was a good amount of jalapeno. I actually got a little bit of jalapeno in that bite. The eggs, the onions, the mushrooms, the ham, the cheese, and especially, I mean, look at that. You probably can't see it from back there, but that's great. And oh yes, I was absolutely, completely right. There is no need to put salt on this. Putting salt on this would be a sacrilege. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my video on lamb's quarter as an introduction. Haven't put out a video in a long time of this nature, so I decided today was a day. Got some time off from work. Might as well do something with it. Something I enjoy especially. But there's a lot of things about the lamb's quarter that I could tell you, a lot of information about it. But there are YouTube videos and there are all kinds of references online. In the interest of my not rambling and my videos not getting incredibly and ridiculously wrong or long, because they very well could, I'm going to allow you guys, I'm going to let you guys do your own homework. I'm not going to tell you everything there is to know about this plant. It's up to you. Ultimately, you are responsible for what goes into your body. Therefore, you need to do the homework and the research for yourself. But I'm going to get out of here now and go get a couple of things done, finish editing this and get it up for you, and I'll get another video out as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up or give me a like on Facebook. Follow me, subscribe on YouTube, whatever. But it's great to have you guys watching, guys, and I hope you learned something today.